Good morning. It is 4:50 a.m, true city o'clock in my mind, and I'm sat waiting for my mate Ben again because we're going on a bit of a trek this morning, one that I really have tried to put off a lot. We're off to Eastbourne on the far eastern end of the Southdowns National Park and 2.5 hours from London.
Slow down. I think it wants us to go that way.
It does. We're going to be heading over the downs and onto the beach so we can shoot Beachy Head Lighthouse. I have my sign that says photographers down by the lighthouse because the area we're going to has been notorious for people who don't want to continue with their lives. And the chaplains that patrol this area ask people that are photographers to leave a note in their car just so that they know that they're okay. This is the first time I've ever been to this location, and Ben's helpfully built it up hugely in my mind by saying it's an absolute beast of a place to get to. Cheers, Ben. When you eventually get to the top of the first hill, it's lovely to look down over Eastbourne, and in the distance there is the pier that I shot a couple of weeks ago. God, that was a disaster. Now, when walking in locations like this, you need to be very careful of one thing: sudden, surprising drops. So we're approaching Cow Gap. We have been debating, as you do, whether cows would really want to go down and what they would want to do on the Eastbourne sea bit. There's also a random couple of football pitches right on the cliff edge. Cow Gap is the lowest point at this area of the Downs, and therefore it is the access to the beach if you want to go along and shoot the lighthouse. So my confession, the reason why I've been putting this off is because I knew this was going to be a bit of a beast. It's an hour's drive from my house. It's about, is it an hour's walk?
You want to go all the way to the lighthouse, it's about 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
An hour, because I'm a slow old bird. An hour's walk there, take some shots, do what you want to do, an hour's walk back, and then another one home. So it takes a very large chunk of your day out, and it's not actually the easiest walk. So Ben has tried to get me out here about 4 or 5 times this year, and sadly, on several occasions, it's rained.
And we both called off the shoot when the conditions were absolutely epic. Should have listened to our gut. We both agreed, looking at the weather forecast.
We thought it was going to be crap.
It's not going to happen. Let's not invest 4 or 5 hours of our life.
Yeah.
We should have.
It was genuinely the best sunset we've had all year, and we missed it. Oh, well, this is welcome and unexpected. Nice.
So I've seen a photograph on a website. It was actually for fishermen, and this used to have a wooden bottom section to the staircase, but I guess that they didn't want to make that metal because they might push these rocks up and down to keep coastal erosion under control.
Makes sense.
So they've just not finished it for that reason. And it's kind of a test. If you can do this, you can probably do the rest of the journey.
Well, it's not the easiest underfoot. And the cliffs where we are right now, which aren't the classic Seven Sisters white, they're really crumbly. I think I've just got Ben having a slip. We're slightly speeding up because we think we might get a bit of pre-dawn pinkiness or something. After about 10 minutes slipping over the rocks, you finally get your first glimpse of that lighthouse. Now, it's just to work out the foreground options. Bit of safety advice. Make sure you are going on a retreating tide. Do not be that person that gets caught in this area. If you've got particularly high tides, you're going to be in trouble. And just looking at this was all covered over because it's pretty flat and it's retreating out now. I've got about 2 hours before low tide, which actually is quite good because it means there's no chance of being stranded, but it also means wellies are possibly something going forward. Okay, we have virgin sand, which is fantastic, and just as it is now, a little bit of colour in the sky up there, but as importantly, a little touch of the reflection of the lighthouse, which is quite nice. I think I need to go higher. Yes, but I'm topping off the bottom of it. This is essentially the view through my camera, although I do have a wider view when I'm not recording video. These are the elements I'm really liking about this. I've got the warmth of the sky reflected in the sand. That really helps to bring the foreground alive. When the waves retreat, I get wet sand, which allows a reflection of the lighthouse as well. I'm also able to capture a curve in the foreground with the wave. It acts as a frame. Currently shooting this with a little stopper on, simply because I'm trying to get a little bit of movement with the bubbles going out. I quite like that in the foreground, it's adding a little something to it. Also, it's adding to the softness of the feel of the shot, which I'm quite liking. I think we're going to lose that lovely cloud very shortly, but do you know what, for now, I'm just going to make the most of it. pretty special. Well, I feel like I'm a very lucky girl right now because I'm getting a lovely muted sunrise in the background, and we've got this lovely fresh sand, no footprints, getting a bit of reflection. It's just a calm morning. So Ben's going to send the drone up. I kind of wish I bought mine, but I'm a little bit amateur in comparison with him, so hopefully he'll lend me a little bit of footage. This is just such a peaceful experience. I know I didn't want to get out of bed. What a fool. And even just looking in the background out to sea, we just got a nice muted sky. It's lovely. We're getting a nice bit of balance with the pinky clouds out, because otherwise it's a bit one-sided. And it's, yeah, kind of needed this. A location like this is probably best shot in winter because sunset is down this side of the cliffs and sunrise, as you can see, is over in that direction. Any later and it just doesn't work according to where the sun rises and sun sets. Problem with sunset is you do tend to get a bit of a silhouette. Just look how crumbly these cliffs are. And every now and then you see people sit on the edge and dangling their legs. Foolish. And then that sun comes out and just gives you the reflections of the cliffs.
This shot does absolutely nothing for me, even with desaturation of the blues and the yellows. However, stick it into black and white, it's vaguely passable.
Right, we're on limited time because we've got deadlines to get back home. It's going to be about an hour to get back to the car. So we're going to get as close as we can to that lighthouse in half an hour. They're mine, and only mine. It's a lot easier walking on the beach than it is on those blooming stones. Any still pools of water are an opportunity for a reflection shot. So by getting down low, don't move, Ben.
You can't see my ass crack.
I can't see your bottom, don't worry. Well, I can, it's huge. You get a nice bit of reflection. They just informed me that I'm not allowed to finish my video without walking to the lighthouse because it doesn't have a sense of completion. I'm sure. Whoops. I'm sure he's right.
Just looking at the crack in that massive cliff up there. If that goes, that looks like 50 metres of cliff. And everybody has a selfie taken up there.
Well, this is the infamous Beachy Head. If you're local, you'll know why it's infamous. And you know why you've got to stick something in your car. So just behind the lighthouse, there's something that's a little bit unexpected. Never thought this, but there's some sculptures, but things you just wouldn't expect to see at the bottom of Beachy Head. Now, I've never been really a massive fan of wanting to come to the foot of this lighthouse. I'm glad I've done it, but I always thought it looks a little bit more impressive in context, particularly this morning. Now, when I was further back down there, that really floated my boat. I had context, I had reflections, I had lovely light. Up here, fascinating, but I'm not going to get my camera out the bag. Don't need to. I've got what I came for. So now to commence a rather hideous walk back. Here we go.
I've got something for the journey.
What's that? Kendal mint
For emergency.
cake. There's a hero if you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid of what you are.
I bought it at Corfe Castle in the souvenir shop.
That's very expensive
And I
then.
thought, I'm going to need this to get up to the top of the hill at Corfe Castle. I'm saving it for a rainy day.
It's raining. Off we go.
So fortified by rather a lot of sugar, we wended our way back towards the base of the cliff in order to start the hideous climb up. And on our way back, we were treated to what is surely one of Sussex's most finest sights, for I lost my last shred of dignity.
The Kendall Vint's not doing it for you.
We'll be fine. It's such a girl thing. Hold on. Oh, look, this is well easy. Look. Oh.